I'm just starting my business and in the very beginning stages. I know it's not going to be all big money moves right off the bat. So looking to see where I can start thinking of creating or doing in the background while I'm building bigger things. Pressure, yuck. I felt this yesterday. I want the opposite. Help, please. That's what we're going to be doing. Huge deal energy. Yes. Okay. I'm so excited. So guys, let's dive in. So one of the things that's really important for this masterclass and for the way that we're going to be doing this is we are going to be tapping into the energetics first, because energetics are one of the most important things that you will ever do within your business. There are so many people who tap into how and they limit themselves right off the bat because your how is automatically going to be founded on what you believe about what's possible within your business, what you believe about yourself, what you believe about what you can receive, and what you believe about what you're worthy of, right? Because we're all worthy, but we have beliefs that will block these things. So there needs to be energetic practices in place. If you are going to do anything within this masterclass, it is to master the energy, because I guarantee that the strategy will come from mastery of energy. It is a guarantee every single time, because when you energetically are aligned to the frequency of 10K months or 50K months or 100K months, what's automatically going to happen is, because you're an energetic match to that frequency and you've done the consistent energetic attunement to be there, is you're a match for it. So the only option that the universe has is to clear the resistance in the way of that and to guide you on the path of that. That's the only two things ever happening in this situation. But when we try to approach this from the other end, then we are limited by logic. We're limited by what we think is possible, right? And so it's really, really, really important that we always focus on energetics first, because you guys, I was talking to my mastermind about, actually, I think I need to drop the riff in there still, but I was talking to my mastermind. I was talking to some of my one-on-one clients about this energy of this is something that I tuned into for my health, right? I was like, most people struggle within their health because they're trying to get away from sickness, but they're not tuned into the frequency of how good can I feel. Do you see the difference there? The same applies to your business. So many people are trying to avoid this certain income range. So many people are looking at, how can I avoid my launch being small? How can I avoid only 1 or 2 people being in here? How can I avoid less than 10K months? How can I avoid less than 50K months? How can I avoid this situation? How can I get out of this situation and get into more? Right? That's how a lot of people approach stepping into the frequency of more within their business. And that is a very limited frequency, because we are so focused on what we are trying to get away from that we don't tune into how good this gets to be. So it's the same frequency within health. Instead of trying to not feel sick, you tune into, how good can I feel within this body? It's the same within your business. Instead of tuning into, what am I trying to get away from, or what am I trying to create? It's, how good can this business be? How good can my income be? Just this small energetic shift will change so much for you, because this is going to automatically be reflected within your strategy, right? Because if you are tuning into how fun this gets to be, how good this gets to go for me, then all of a sudden, there's not an air of convincing around you. There's not an air of lack around you based on, oh, okay, it's the 14th of the month and I've made this much. And okay, am I on track or am I not on track? You're not checking into those things. You're tuning into how good it gets to be, right? And so when you're in that frequency, what happens is you open yourself up to more possibility. You open yourself up to things working. You open yourself up to inspiration, intuition, all of these different pieces. But if you try to go, how do I get to a 10K month? How do I get to a 50K month? And there is no energetics of believing that this is possible, you're going to struggle. And you're going to continue to be limited by the bounds of logic, because logic automatically will have you looking from where you are at, trying to get somewhere else, instead of the energy of how good does this get to feel? How good can my income get this month? There's a frequential change there. And I want you guys to know how this works is when you get into a space of how, you block yourself off from that, and you are going to see logical growth. And logical growth is slow and sometimes stagnant because you are making slow and stagnant moves within your business. So I changed up my program. We'll be launching in the next few weeks. I have not been putting pressure on myself, and this has been great so far. Susie, I'm so excited for you. Yes, focus on where we are going instead of where we are moving away from. We just had this convo with a client this week. No rushing the how. This makes so much sense. Yes, exactly. Logic schmogic. Okay, perfect. So one of the biggest energetic frequencies that we can practice every single day that is small moves, big money. This is the one that is foundational. Like if you are not doing this, you are going to struggle to grow your business. You are going to struggle to scale. This is necessary whether you are tapping into your first 5K month. This is necessary if you are tapping into your first $200,000 month. This is foundational. This is something that I do every single day that is 100% necessary, because every single thing that you do is founded upon this. And it is being solid in yourself instead of moving from doubt and questioning and convincing. How do you feel about yourself? What is your internal self-talk? This is so important to tap into. And I know this sounds so foundational, but when you go back to this, you're going to see why there may be elements within you that doubt if people are going to sign up for your offer, that are going into Instagram expecting nobody to be messaging you, that are going into your payment processor not expecting somebody to have paid you, when there's expectations that no one's going to sign into your one-on-one. You know, these problems, they're not because of your one-to-one. They're not because Instagram. They're not because what's going on in your containers. It's because of what you believe about yourself, right? Because there is always, I truly believe this, there's co-creative desires happening. And when I have the desire to launch something, it is of service. And so if it is of service, there are people out there desiring what I have to offer. It's co-creative, right? And so my job is to be solid, because when I am solid, what's going to happen from there is there's going to be an expansiveness where people feel this energy of my solidity instead of feel the energy of lack coming from me, of convincing coming from me, of a searching for somebody to fill a void within me. If I am moving from my business in this energy of see me as good enough, come into my thing because then I'll believe in it, I need you to come in so I can hit my income goal, what kind of energy am I putting off? You guys, this will affect every single thing within your business. This will affect how you communicate with your clients. This will affect how solid you feel after a conversation with somebody in your DMs. This will affect how you feel when you are looking at where you are at within the month. This will affect how you are marketing your program when it is 3 weeks out and nobody's reached out yet, or this is the day before and you still have 5 spaces to fill. How you feel about yourself in your internal dialogue is so important and so foundational. So I want you guys to tune in. How has the conversations with yourself been? This awareness is number one within your business. This awareness will take you to your next level, because if there is subtleties within the way you feel about yourself, needing something external to tell you that you're good enough, to tell you that you're worthy of making the money that you need to make or desire to make, when you have people coming in, and that's when you decide that your offer is good enough. When people come in, there's a problem there, right? And when you create the energetic solidity within yourself first, then all of a sudden we're not creating problems that aren't there, right? Because something that happens sometimes is my clients go, well, what if one of my client isn't happy? They haven't been in Voxer for a week. And I'm like, what if they're integrating? That belief is the difference between my internal self-talk and somebody else's internal self-talk, right? Believing that something's wrong before somebody even says that there's something wrong, right? I believe that my clients love me. So when I believe that my clients love me and that they're getting massive transformations, how does that cause me to market? How does that cause me to show up online? How does that cause me to believe in my client's personal power? You guys, if there is a subtlety within us that needs validation in order to believe within ourselves, we're going to believe the same about our people. So we're not going to call in truly empowered people, or we might, but we might be babying them within our containers and not allowing them to grow to their fullest because we don't believe in their solid personal power because we haven't found ours yet. And when I say found ours, we all have personal power. It's just the stories we stack on top of it instead of settling into that innate essence that is powerful, because we're all powerful. Sometimes the stories just separate us from that. When we step into that, all of a sudden, we are calling in empowered people. All of a sudden, we are not creating problems where there are not problems. I see so many people who are in their launches go, oh my gosh, I only have 2 people and it's been a week. And I'm like, is this a problem? And they're like, yeah, it's a problem. And I'm like, well, what is the frequency we're saying about the 2 people who are already in? That they're not enough. First off, we're also saying we need more people to feel solid about our offer. We need more people to feel solid in our launch. So what are we doing? We're externalizing our validation. We're externalizing the way we feel about our business. We're externalizing the way we feel about our offer. And when we do that, we are going to struggle to grow, right? Because what is happening is the universe is matching us. And so if I say I'm not good enough till people come in, then the universe is like, I'm not good enough till people come in. Okay, perfect. Feel good enough and the people will come in. That's literally what the universe is going to say to us. Joy. Yes, exactly. And so when we feel that energy of I am a boss at what I do, this is what I want you guys to be telling yourself. I am a boss at what I do. I am good at getting people transformations. People see transformations within my world. I am so good at what I do. I have so much fun at what I do. My offers are incredible. They are such a gift to the world. If your internal self-talk doesn't sound like that, then I don't want it, right? And so that's how we have to be moving within our business. And this is why energetics are so important, because you guys, so many people try to override these feelings. When they feel unworthy, when they feel like they need external validation, when they feel like something's not working, they're going to do a couple of different things. They're either going to avoid because that doesn't feel good. So I'm just going to go into my feminine and go lay on my bed with my cat. She's so cute. She has become one with the blanket. I don't even know if you guys can see her. It's adorable. I'm like, she's so cute. They either avoid and they go super, super feminine because they don't want to feel these feelings, or they go overcompensation mode. They don't address the energetics. They don't address their internal dialogue. And they go, I'm going to try harder. I'm going to sell more. I'm going to say more about this offer. I'm going to convince people to get in, right? Either one of these. We have to tune back into the energetics. We have to tune into this base foundational practice, because as soon as you guys have this, this is the small move that will make you big money. This is so, so, so important. This hits hard. I've been doing this the last 2 months, and it's phenomenally shifted my life and my business. Joy, I'm so excited for you. Yes, I've been putting into practice everything Christy is saying. Oh, I love that. That's not a cat, that's a creature of disgust. I swear that is accurate. She just like, I bought all of these white fluffy things and sometimes I lose her. She's so cute. Okay. It becomes so, oh, this is like resetting. There we go. It becomes such a conscious practice to get into that energy when there's fear, but I'm getting better. Yes. Amanda Francis had 2 people in her first money program. Look at her now. Yep, exactly. Small moves, big money. This is definitely what I have been working on. Oh, I am so good. Everybody's commenting on Celeste's camouflage. She's so cute. I love it. Okay, So the next foundational thing, let me know if that landed, if you are going to shift your internal dialogue, or if you've already been practicing it. Because this is so important, you guys, for us to be able to scale. If we don't believe in ourselves, every strategic action we take from a place of disbelief in ourselves is going to have that frequency written into it, right? You could say the best things on social media, but if it is encoded underneath the scenes with the frequency of I am not good enough, I am not solid until you come in and pay me, then people are going to feel that. And you are going to see that mirrored in the people who come in, if they come in, right? And so we want to have this solidity in self that is just so powerful, so solid, that there is positive expectation. This is the next thing that we're going to talk about in terms of the energetics for small moves and big money. What are you expecting? When you open Instagram, are you expecting that people are going to be reaching out? And then do you feel a drop within your frequency when they don't? When you open Facebook, are you expecting that people are reaching out for your offer? Or are you expecting that they're not? When you check your payment processor, are you expecting payments to be there? Or are you disappointed that they're not? When you send an email, are you expecting people to reply or to buy? Or are you disappointed that they're not? And here's the thing about positive expectation. Positive expectation is not based on a timeline. Positive expectation is not the energy of, I'm going to hold it until I check the app and then I'm going to drop it. I'm going to hold it till this point in the month and then I'm going to drop it. I'm going to hold it until this point in my launch and then I'm going to drop it. Positive expectation is positive expectation no matter what. And when you guys follow this first step of energetics and you get so solid in self that you believe that you're a boss at what you do, you believe that people want to pay you for your work, then it doesn't matter if it's the 1st or the 31st. You are checking your payment processor with an expectation of there being payments in there, of people joining your program, of people joining your offer. And when they're not there, it's almost like you don't even notice. Right? There is no energetic, there's an energetic, no, I'm holding the energy. So many people will drop their energy based on how long it's been since the last person has come into their world, since the last person has joined their launch, that there's not an expectation of any moment. Like, this is how I feel. Any moment, somebody could reach out to me and want to join my one-on-one coaching. You guys, there have been people who have come into my inbox and said, hey, I just found you. I want to join private coaching. We have some conversations back and forth. I sent them the link. They never paid. I didn't notice. I noticed. But energetically, I'm like, perfect. I'm here for the aligned person, right? There's no attachment to you or you or you, because that puts me in this energy of controlling instead of being open to possibility. As soon as I try to control, I put the blinders up on what's possible. As soon as I try to make it look a different way, I put the blinders up to what's possible. So I'm in the frequency of, I'm a match for private clients. That's it. Point blank, we're done. Right? And so when I check my payment processor and something hasn't come through yet, I'm in the energy of like, I feel like it's already happened because I'm so solid in self. When somebody hasn't reached out for my program, I'm in the energy of, we're getting closer to the moment they do, right? So many people are looking at things from this half empty energy. I can't tell you guys how many times I've had conversations with my clients and they're like, Christy, my story views drop when I sell. And I was like, amazing. Those are the people who want to buy from you. You know that, right? Instead of, oh, it went from 100 to 50. I'm like, 50 people who want to hear about your offer? Freaking amazing. Keep going. Do you see how we can see the glass is half full, right? When we have this, we energetically contract. And every single time we have these energetic contractions, it's because there's an entanglement. It's saying, because this hasn't happened, I don't get to see the big thing happen in my life, right? We're not going to see big money if every single time these things happen, we go, that's a reason why I can't receive big money. right? When we look at how many people are viewing our stories and we can track, if we see, oh, somebody hasn't reached out for a week and we can track, if we see like, oh, it's the 14th of the month and I haven't made this much, so I contract, then what do? I close myself off. And I'm not playing in that frequency. I talked to you guys a minute ago about how good does this get to get? I literally go, oh, this is how it is. I decide right there and stop my growth. The second you say, oh, people don't care about me because they don't want to hear me sell because my story views drop, or they don't want to hear me sell because this thing is happening within my reality, or people don't want to pay me money because I've seen inconsistent sales. Where are we tapping into? Oh my God, there's people who want to pay me. And oh my God, I always make more money. So money is consistent. So it gets to be more consistent. Jennifer, I love this energy. Like everybody here is dancing on Zoom. I'm so here for it. Yeah, it's this energy of solidity. It's this energy of decidedness, right? And when we decide, there is a frequency that goes, yes. And so many people are deciding that this is where the buck stops. So many people are deciding that people don't care to hear them sell. So many people are deciding that this is what the income gets to look like for this month based on where we're at today. So many people are deciding, I guess 2 people in my program is fine and I'm just going to lean back. Or so many people are deciding I'm going to hustle and pressure and force my ass off because 2 people isn't enough. Can we tune into the abundance of 2 people or 3 people or 1 person and compound that because there's such a solidity in self? Can we do that? This is the biggest initiation your business will walk you through. I'm like, yes. Will there be a replay for this? Yes, there will be. I started to practice this last month and already seeing changes in myself, how I look at my business and what is possible. Yes. Energy of decidedness. Yes. The expecting energy confuses me a bit because when I expect and it doesn't happen. Okay, this is getting clearer now. Yep. As soon as we expect and it doesn't happen, we put a timeline on that expectation. My expectation, like that's going and it's going and it's going and it's going. I don't have this, it hasn't happened yet energy from a contraction. I have this, it hasn't happened yet energy from like yet. Could happen in 1 second, could happen in 10 seconds, right? That's the energy of positive expectation. And so many people are only willing to hold this energy of positive expectation up until a point. You want to be the person who goes all the way. You want to be the person who at that point where you could check in and you could decide that this isn't working, you go a little further every single time, because that is what an entrepreneur is. It is somebody who is willing to push their edge, who is willing to push their edge of what they believe is possible, somebody who is willing to push their edge of what they believe about themselves, and who is willing to bet on themselves constantly and continuously. This is the entrepreneurial spirit, you guys. And this isn't always easy, right? If it was easy, everybody would do this. It is hard to go up against your edge and have an expectation and have this moment where it's like, it looks like it's not working and decide this is working. But nothing will take you further in your business, right? And that's why we talk about energetics first. So let me know if the energetics piece has landed. We're going to dive into strategy next. That is the pep talk of a lifetime. I'm like, I wish I had heard this in the beginning of my business. We would have moved even faster. Love it all. I needed this boost. You are so welcome. Whoosh, strategy. Yeah, it's so easy to doubt yourself. And here's the thing, you guys. If you have neural pathways that say, I have doubted myself my whole life, that is the easy option. You've got a pathway going that way. It's going to be easy for you to continue to choose that. But also, I'm here to choose and I'm here to decide, right? Like I saw this post yesterday on Instagram. It was from Abundance Babe or Abundance Witch. She's phenomenal. And she said, as soon as I say I want something and I'm not willing to invest in it, it's like the energy of I wish versus the energy of I decide, right? That's how I feel about deciding, is I will invest in it. I will continue to decide. I will continue to choose. that I believe in myself, even when it's not easy. And because in the beginning, it wasn't easy for me, right? Like I was just this person who was like, I had literally been in a marketing job. I had worked in a warehouse. I believed that I was going to have to work in a job until I was 65. And I was so burnt out and I was so sick. And that was what was easy for me, right? Even though it felt hard, the neural pathways were there that I'm only good enough for this. And I had to choose, actually, no, I can create my own life. I see these women on the internet creating their own lives and having like 5K months. I remember when I was in a warehouse job and I was making $10 an hour, I think. And I would stare at the clock and I'd be listening to my music and I'd be standing for 8 hours a day. And I'm like, there has to be something more. There has to be something more. And I saw these people on the internet and I created a separation from them. I decided I'm not the person who could make like even $2,000 a month. Could you imagine if I could make $2,000 a month, I could live at home. Like that would be everything to me. And now we've had $500,000 cash year the second year. Like it doesn't make sense, but the frequency was deciding from this version of me, who I am now. Looking back on that version of me, it was not easy for her to decide that she was good enough. It was not easy for her to decide that she was worthy enough. It was not easy for me to be visible. You guys, I had to make moves as this next level version of myself because I remember I saw people doing these live challenges and I was like, I know that the next level version of me isn't afraid of getting on camera. And I had such deep anxiety when I first like started trying out this business thing that I would like literally start going before I would push play. And I'd have to have sticky notes with everything written of every sentence I was going to say. And I'd position it behind my phone so it looked like I was looking at the camera. And my worst fear was that I would choke to death on live. That was like the end. Or if my thoughts floated away, that was the end. I was done. Shame forever. That's how I felt. And now if I forget what I'm saying, I'm like, what were we talking about again in front of all the people? But it has to be one of those things where we choose and decide. And there is choosing and deciding that is going to happen at your next level too, right? We're going to be constantly pushing our edge. Eva, I do think we have a few reflectors. I worked with a few reflectors too. Deciding that we are accepting where we are at now. Yeah. We're moving from this energy of loving ourselves where we're at and moving as this next level version of ourselves. I always ask myself, what is the next level version of myself doing? If I hadn't asked that question, I think I would have literally avoided going live. And if I had avoided going live, I wouldn't be able to do this here with you now and have these conversations and have so many people who have had their lives changed and have my life changed by changing your life. Like this is the greatest gift that I could ever do. And this is where when we talk about the conversation of human design, I want you guys to understand that sometimes when we don't tune in, this is why it's so important for me to combine energetics with human design. Because if I tuned into my sacral, because I'm a sacral authority, but whatever authority you are, if you tuned into your authority and you had that big of a fear of being visible, your authority might keep you in a state of sameness, of safety, right? If we don't combine human design with energetics and within these places of playing on a bigger playing field, this is why human design must be combined with energetics, because I'm not willing to stay in a state of sameness. And as soon as a desire comes through me and is called through me, it's because it's meant for me. But also, if that version of me who has that desire, if I don't tune into the moves that she's making and tune into my authority from there and tune into my authority from the current space of where I am comfortable, I'm still not going to expand. That's an important conversation. We'll have another masterclass for that one because I feel like some people use human design as an excuse. And I'm like, no, there's no excuses in there, baby, at all. So beautiful. You're sharing that. Hits home. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. If this was easy, everyone would do it. Not everyone is as tough, as resilient as our business badasses. Carrie, that is the absolute truth. There is a power in being an entrepreneur. because this is a medicine walk. You being an entrepreneur, it makes you face yourself in a way where you will face every piece of you that believes you're unworthy, every piece of you that believes you can't, every piece of you that believes you're not creating your own reality, every piece of you where you've created separation from your desires. It will make you face those pieces. That is the journey. That is the medicine walk of being an entrepreneur. Yeah. Yeah. Not everyone is designed to do this. I truly believe that anyone can do this, but not everyone will. And when I sit with that, I'm like, awesome. We're the brave ones. That's how I feel. Okay, you guys, let's dive into the strategic piece of this. So here's the thing when it comes to small moves and big money that I really want to talk about is so many of us put such an immense amount of pressure on the small moves instead of letting the small moves build up and stack up. This is really, really, really important, because if every single thing that you do within your business, every single masterclass, every single offer, every single story, every single like email, every single post has this frequency behind it of, what are they going to think? Is this going to work? What's happening today? And it's not coded with a frequency of, what is the long term? This is the building. This is a stacking. I'm doing this because I enjoy it. I'm doing this because I want to. If we have big deal energy behind every single thing that we do, first off, it's going to be very unsustainable, right? Because if every single time I post, I put pressure on myself for that to be the best post ever, and it needs to be like an entire freaking masterclass, and it needs to get this many likes and this many shares or this many sales, or it's not good enough. First, what am I doing? I'm sending an energetic cord out to every single person and every single thing that's going to look at it, going, what is my sister going to think? What is my family going to think? What is my old coworkers going to think? What is my audience going to think? Is this good enough? I'm watching Celeste in the background. Girlfriend, you are on Zoom. If you guys don't know, she's like my entire spirit guide. I love her so much. But we're setting out these energetic cords to, what do they think? What do they think? What do I think? Right? This is where we tune into no big deal energy. This is where we're not going from the energy of how many people have signed up. Am I going to hit my income goal? How many people are going to sign up? I'm going to create another offer. I'm going to framework it a different way. I'm going to bring momentum in by playing with multiple things at once from a really light energy. This is something we do in the Aligned Ascension Academy, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this live. So if you're vibing with that, you can come play in that. Right? How do we get into this energy of no big deal energy with the expectation? This is why we talked about the energetics first. We want to have the positive expectation that this gets to get really good with no big deal energy down here in the 3D, in the strategic things that we're doing. Because if every single thing that we do in our business that are the needle movers, our small daily actions, and I'm going to talk about those, if our needle movers dysregulate us, if showing up and being visible is the scariest thing in the world to you, if creating a post feels like the pressure of creating a masterclass, if every single masterclass feels like this energy of, oh my God, there's people watching us and this is scary and I could mess this up, we're not in the true frequency of MBD energy with high expectation, right? And so what we need to do is we need to remove this energy of, oh my gosh, everything needs to be this huge thing, and we need to remove the pressure so we can actually enjoy the process of creating. We need to enjoy the process of selling, of showing up on social media, of being visible. I'm not able to enjoy the process if I'm moving from an unsustainable energy of this is a huge deal and putting pressure on every single action that I take. An action that we take is just an action we take until we've told ourselves the story of this needs to be this good in order for people to like it. It needs to be this many people need to respond. Oh my gosh, is this good enough? What are they going to think? Is this the frequency of what I'm trying to communicate? Is this in alignment with my niche? Like all of these questions that we ask ourselves. Posting a post is just saying something that's on your heart and knowing a couple of strategies and doing it until we've made 500 stories about it. And here's the thing. If it's unsustainable, I don't want it. That's how I move in my business at this level. $500,000, you cannot, and especially in the beginning, you will see yourself do the things, fall off the face of the planet. Do the things, fall off of the face of the planet. Do the things, fall off the face of the planet if you are not in an energy of sustainability. And sustainability is not just what we do, it's what we think about what we do. Because it is unsustainable for me to do my stories and show up and sell and go, how many people watched my stories of me selling? The story views dropped. Oh my gosh, this means I'm not good enough. That is an unsustainable thought form. If I'm believing every single day that I'm not good enough, good luck, right? If I'm tuning into the frequency of, oh my gosh, how many people unsubscribed from my email list? Okay, that must mean that I'm doing something wrong. No, I can't tune into that frequency. So where are we making things a big deal and therefore putting ourselves in unsustainable energy? Sustainable energy for me is I want to show up most days, because I don't put pressure on myself to show up all days. Like, I will say that I show up all days, and I usually do, but my frequency is most days. That feels good. And what do I want to say today? It's not the energy of what do they think? What are they going to do? I'm not sending out all these energetic cords. It's like, what do I think? Because then the action of me creating and selling is the action of me creating and selling, instead of this big, difficult frequency of trying to see if I'm selling too much, right? This is something that I've seen so often is my clients will go into this space of, they'll avoid these small moves and they'll go into a space of, I need to redo my freebie. I think I need to create a YouTube channel. I think I need to create a funnel, but they're actually just scared of selling. Selling has become this thing that they want to avoid, right? That's one of the things that we really need to tune into is, have we put an unsustainable frequency on our needle movers? Because if we put an unsustainable frequency on our needle movers, we're not going to be doing the things that equal the big momentum, that equal the big stack, right? It's not about big moves equaling big money. This is small moves equal big money. And if you're trying to tune into the frequency of, I need to redo my YouTube channel 10 times, and I need to redo my branding, and I need to get the perfect freebie, where are we focusing on revenue generating activities? I'm all for branding. I'm all for an amazing freebie, but those are secondary to my revenue generating activities, right? You guys will hear me talk about energetics, but also I'm a logical gal. I love revenue generating activities because that affects my bottom line. And also I'm affecting my bottom line from this energy of, I believe in myself. I'm incredible at what I do. I have such positive expectation for my business. My clients see incredible results. Do you feel that frequency? So it's like I'm able to create revenue from that frequential toning underneath of it, instead of, I got to hit this. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't know if people are coming in. People don't like me selling, so maybe I should balance how much I sell with how much value I offer. And then we just start overthinking everything. That's an unsustainable energy as well, right? Move from a place of, I'm here to sell. I'm here to teach. I'm here to benefit. I'm here to change the world. But people buy and come in because of me. And if I'm censoring myself based on what you think, I'm not being me. Okay. Yeah, energetics is everything. So instead of seeing low numbers, I get to see, wow, 5 people aligned with my work. And I'm thankful. Jennifer nailed it. It's all neutral until we make it mean something. Yes. Deciding that we are accepting where we are at now. Not everyone is designed. Yeah. Not everyone has decided to do this entrepreneurial journey. Yep. 100%. This is the exact combo I came to hear, apparently. Who've been thinking I needed to redo my website since I launched my community. Totally. Okay. Nazi, I'll be back for the replay. Sounds amazing, my love. Carrie, Aligned Ascension Academy is on my vision board. 2023 is the year. We would love to have you. True, I convinced myself that I could sell every day, that I could also give value every day. It creates a rule to receive. Maria, this is it. It's like I can receive and I desire to create value and sell. There's a different frequential tone under there, because that means that I can receive at any moment versus me creating rules and boundaries for my receiving. So here's the thing. When you're tuned into that big vision of where you're going, that does not equal pressurized moves. Ask yourself, where am I moving from unsustainable energy within my business? Because if it's unsustainable, I don't want it. I'm here for sustainable, because that is how we scale big businesses. So let's talk about our needle movers. These are the small daily actions that we do within our business, right? And when I say daily, I'm tuning into most days for me. You're going to tune into what's aligned for you, right? And honestly, I do show up almost all the days because I love what I do. I'm moving from sustainable energy behind the scenes. I have such a beautiful work-life balance, and I'm just like, I'm chilling. I'm excited to talk about the things, right? And you will see that happen is if you set the energy of, I show up most days, and these are my needle movers, you're going to find yourself wanting to show up. That's the goal we have within our business, is we want to feel pulled instead of like we're pushing something along. When you master the energetics that we've just talked about, that's where you feel pulled, right? So the needle movers don't become things on a checklist of I have to do this. The needle movers are a siphon of where we can siphon the powerful energy that we've created behind the scenes that are like, I'm amazing at what I have to do and I have things to say about it, right? It allows us to siphon that big energy into the actions that compound over time. Right? No big deal energy is not putting pressure on these actions. So for me, my needle movers are the things that are getting me in front of people. That is visibility. My visibility did look different in the beginning, right? In the beginning of my business, I was doing a lot more collaborating. I was hopping on podcasts. I was doing a lot more free masterclasses. These are things we talk in the Six-Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. Now, as I've grown my business, I don't need to do a single free masterclass. But also, I love it, right? This energy of back and forth, it's so fun for me, right? And so it's one of those things where I'm like, this fuels me. And so where are you tuning into the frequency of visibility? How can you do visibility? Is it showing up and practicing going live? Is it the energy of collaborating and being seen in different audiences? Is it just the energy of my visibility today is showing up on my stories because I'm working with my available energy? Something else that I'm tuning into most days is the frequency of selling. You guys, we talk a lot about selling in the Six-Figure Aligned Ascension Academy because selling needs to be coded with a lot of beliefs in order for us to be consistent around it. Because a lot of people within selling, they believe I can only show up and sell a certain amount. If I sell too many things at one time, people are going to get annoyed. If I don't find a new creative way to sell the same offer today, then people are going to get bored. If people don't buy right away, then they aren't going to buy at the end. And so all of these things are energetic contractions that keep us from being in the energy of people love when I sell, right? And so we want to be showing up and selling most days. That's the energetic frequency for me. This is an important needle mover because if I love the idea of redoing my website. I love the branding. I love a new freebie, but also are these things affecting our bottom line? They are long-term, but also I want to show up and sell, right? I want to tell people about my offers because when people know there's an offer, they're going to come into the offer. If people don't know that there's an offer, I have this constriction around me of, I talked about this yesterday, so I have to talk about something new today. Then what about the people who are ready to hear about it today? What about the people who were on the edge of their seat? Like, ooh, I think I'm going to buy that. Like I'm on the edge of my seat for an offer from one of my coaches right now. If she were to stop talking about it, do you think I'm going to tip over? No, I'm going to move on with my life and I'm going to forget about it because I'm doing life, right? So people aren't paying attention to, oh, she sold this yesterday and now she's selling it again today. I'm annoyed. You're talking to the people who are yeses. You're not talking to the people who are nos. And so we want to show up and sell. We also want to be creating content. Here's the thing. This is one of my needle movers. Creating content is so important for people to not only see us, but to know us, to know who we are, and to know that we're good at what we do. right? I don't just want to show up and sell, because I want people to know that I'm embodied behind the scenes, right? So here's the thing. That's the thing I love about this masterclass. This is all 3 of my needles for today, right? Because you guys are showing up, you're seeing me, you've seen the way that I've moved. Even that story that I told you about me, how I used to work in a warehouse and $2,000 a month was my goal. You know me now on a deeper level than you may have previously known me. You might have heard that story before. But you've also seen established credibility. You've seen me online. You've probably seen me celebrating myself, celebrating my clients. Celebration is a huge part of my world because it's an anchoring in point to now. Now is good. And also, I'm selling. You guys have heard me mention the Aligned Ascension Academy a couple of times, and I'm going to talk about it at the end for the people who are aligned with working with me, right? And so how can you tune into your needle movers? Because I see a lot of people get stuck in these big vision things of, oh, I have to do this big thing, that they forget about their needle movers, or they don't know when enough's enough. That's also a frequency that we can start to get into, where we get frantic and we go, okay, I need to send 10 emails. I need to do this many posts. I got to do this many things. How do I know when enough's enough? I work with my available energy. I'm in tune with my body. So some days my available energy says, repost the 10 stories that you created last week, because I'm very organized. I save my stories in different albums in my phone. And I'm like, repost, 5 minutes. That's all I got today. Good night. That is something that can happen, right? And so within me tuning into my body and following my guidance and following my authority, I'm able to tell what is my available energy instead of this energy of gotta go, gotta do all these things, gotta check off every single box of every single thing. That's the energy. And so we want to tune into our needle movers, but we don't want to put pressure on our needle movers. And here's the thing. We do not want to tune into reset energy. It's not like every single day I reset. That's the purpose of a needle mover, is if I've been doing my needle movers and with my available energy, tuning into my authority, moving from alignment, then what I did 3 weeks ago is serving me now. What I did a year ago is serving me now. What I did yesterday is serving me now. It's not the energy of today, I'm doing this masterclass. This is the only thing, the only opportunity that I have to expand. So we're tuning into these small daily actions that create revenue, that bring people in, that tell people we have offers. And then we tune into how the long term is building. This takes us back to the energetics. You will see that every single time you tune into the energetics, the strategy is going to be an expansion of that. So stop trying to build a YouTube channel, or stop trying to rebrand if you're trying to avoid selling. If you're afraid that people don't even like what you have to offer, because these moves will be made in alignment. I'm all for having a YouTube channel. I'm going to start one, but also I'm not losing track of my needle movers. I'm not losing track of the daily actions that equal the big money. The small moves equal big money. What are your revenue generating activities? Because if we're spending 10 hours behind the scenes rebuilding our freebie and we haven't sold a single thing, we haven't shared anything, then what are we doing? What are we avoiding, right? Tune back into those needle movers. Tune back into the energetics that the needle movers are founded upon, and you will see massive growth within your business. Guaranteed. These are the small moves that equal big money. It seems so simple, yet so many of us are in energetics that don't make these things sustainable. So many of us are in energetics that are coded with these things being in lack, that are coded with these things believing that people don't want our offers, that are coded with how do I get external validation before I believe in myself. Visibility, selling, and content. Guilty. Yeah, of course, when we lose the reset energy, the stuff we do 3 weeks ago is still serving us now. 100% joy. And so many of us will like close off our energy to what do I do today? But there's an openness that occurs when you go, there's people behind the scenes considering this from the post that I did last week. There's an openness that you can feel, and that opens up your system, and all of a sudden you release pressure, and then all of a sudden you have more you want to say, right? It's so good. So good. I almost thought it was a bad move to launch a masterclass while setting up my new business systems, but now I kind of think that is good because I am doing an income generating thing. Jennifer, if I have an intuition for something, I'm doing it, guaranteed, whether it makes sense, whether it follows the rules of the industry, whether it's quote unquote too high price, too low price, launching too many things at the same time. If other people have done something similar, if it's the time, if it's not as soon as I have the intuition, I let all rules go to the wayside. If my audience is big enough, if I just sold a high ticket offer and then I want to sell another high ticket offer, I'm like, whatever. All those rules are rules from the brain. What is my authority leading me to? That is my ultimate trust. That is my ultimate checkpoint. The compounding effect is real. I run on the assumption that only 20% of people see each post live. So repeating the same thing on multiple platforms at different times is all good. Different people will see different things at different times and will land in different ways. Some people like posts, others like lives. So I write posts and then we'll go live about the same thing. Don't have to reinvent the wheel. Carrie, I do this without the belief of 20%. So I make it easy for myself. I repurpose. You guys will hear me say a lot of the same things. Even some of my private clients, my mastermind clients, they hear me say things that I've said in free masterclasses. But the thing is it's special because it's attuned to them. So it lands in their frequency even deeper because they're investing. Right. And I just have this belief, like, I don't mess with percentages, any of that, like 20%, 40%. I'm like, the people who are seeing this are the people who are loving this. Right. And so honestly, I do want to be visible in multiple places. So I will send the email and I will post on Instagram and I will post on Facebook, but also I'm not tuning into the 20%. I'm just tuning into, I want to do this because I want more people to see this. And a ton of people could see this at any moment. That's the frequency. Kate, hi, my love. I love you. So good to see you. Master the small moves so they become second nature before starting something new that will take up more mental space. Content with intent. When people pay, they pay attention. Yeah, there's something about investing that completely changes the frequency. I'm that person who, and you know, I was talking to my coach about this, about like my belief around investing. And she had this conversation with me because I'm going to be putting out more like human design courses eventually on TikTok and things like that, which I'm really excited about. And I was talking about high level coaching and I'm like, I believe that you have to invest to see massive results within your business. And she's like, why are you afraid to say that online? Because I'm like, I don't want to offend anybody who doesn't want to invest. And she's like, Christy, how did you get here? And I'm like, okay, I can speak about investing because I did, right? It's when people pay, they pay attention. And so even though like my favorite money coaches and my favorite business coach, I can consume all of their free content, something's coded differently when I say I'm all in on myself from this energy of I'm investing in me. I never invest in another person every single time, and it's an investment in myself. That's where people start to put pressure on containers that I've seen within like going big on investments. Like this has happened where I've seen people go into like 3-month containers and go, oh, I didn't get a financial ROI on that container. Or I've seen posts on the internet where people are like, oh, I was in coaching with this coach for a year and I didn't get a financial ROI. And I'm like, I'm my ROI every single time. And so if I am building myself, then I'm not putting pressure on the constraints of a container. This is where we also tap into that no matter what energy, where it's just like, I'm decided whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's 2023 or 2025, I know where I'm going, right? We're never investing in another person. We're investing in ourselves based on something that we felt aligned from another person. That's what I truly believe. Okay. From business best practices perspectives, customers usually have multiple touch points before they buy. So repurposing benefits you. Yep, Eva, and I've heard this. People may take 15 touch points. They may take one. I'm open to the one but I'm also in the energy of somebody's always getting closer to their moment of purchasing. Somebody's always getting closer. And that moment could literally be in 5 minutes, right? It's that decide energy. When you pay, you get into the decidedness energy. And that's really what the universe is listening to. It's listening to our decision. So when we decide that people don't like to hear us sell based on what's happening within our story views, well, the universe hears, oh, people don't like to hear her sell. And so what do? We perpetuate more of that within our reality. When we decide that we're not going to make a certain income level until we have a certain number of followers or we have a certain number of people reaching out, then we've decided, right? What if we decided the opposite? What if we decided to own that we're a leader within the industry right here, right now, regardless of followers? You guys, I did that when I was at like 3,000 followers. And now I show the displays of somebody who's a leader, but I could compare myself to somebody who has 100,000 followers and go, I'm not a leader yet. Or I could decide here and now. We decide here and now, regardless of the external circumstances, and the external circumstances will always raise to the standard of what we've decided. Always. Thank you so much for this today. I have to run, but looking forward to continuing to learn from you. Amazing. Okay, you guys, I am going to talk about the 6-Figure Aligned Ascension Academy and a couple of other spaces that you can come play. So if you are vibing with listening to all of the things and the ways you can continue to stay in my world, I've got some pretty exciting announcements. And if this is why you are here, thank you so much for being here. So first, I wanted to tell you guys about a program upcoming in March. We are on pre-sale for this right now. I think pre-sale is going to end in about 10 days. This is eventually going to be a program that goes up to like $1,111. And this is the energetics of quantum leaping. You guys, if you have seen me within my business, I have moved from my first year in this business being 100,000 to 500,000 in 1 year. I have quantum leaped my health. I have quantum leaped my relationship. And there is energetics when it comes to quantum leaping that I want to tune you into. This is basically pre-sale. It's $555. If you want the link, send me a DM. And this is going to be happening live in March. There's going to be 4 live modules. This may be something I rerun in the future. The really cool thing about it is if you want to be there and be like able to ask me questions as we're live, that's something you're going to get the opportunity to do if you want to vibe with that. I'm really excited about this program because it's like everything that I am. I'm just like the person who moves fast in quantum leaps. And it's not just because I'm a manifesting generator. That's a complete lie. Like it's because of the energetics I've embodied, because projectors, manifestors, reflectors, I've seen them all quantum leap on these energetics. And I'm really excited to share these with you guys. So the reason why we're here today is because I want to talk to you guys about the 6-Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. This is like my signature academy for tuning into all of these energetics and building a 6-figure business through the trifecta of human design, energetics, and strategy. And right now we are on early bird. So I will drop the link in the comments if you guys are interested in joining. This is the place to come play if you are ready for high level support in creating a 6-figure business through the trifecta of really powerful and solid energetics, really expansive strategies, and human design embodiment. So I'm really, really, really excited about this space. Right now, we are at $399. It's going to go up to $4,444, and there are payment plans available. This is really a space to go all in on yourself, because what I have seen is that really in this industry, there's places where you can go for human design. There's places where you can go for energetics, and there's places that you can go for strategy. But when you have an all-in-one encompassing space where you are able to learn all of these pieces, you're able to learn offer creation, you're able to learn not only how to sell, the strategic pieces of selling and what to say, but also the energetics of selling. You're able to learn the visibility. You're able to learn how to scale your business. You're able to learn how to product stack. You're able to learn the energetics of launching and when to do the pre-sale, when to do the early bird, when to do the actual full price, how to build momentum in your business, how to balance multiple offers and have it feel light, fun, and easy. This is the energy where you actually start to scale. And so this is something that I have not seen created in this industry. We are on the 3rd round of the 6-Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. And this is a space where you can really tune in and get that high level support with me and get your hands in the clay of your business. Because something that I see a lot of people do is they consume this, they do this, they do this, they do this, but they're not actually doing the thing within their business. They're not actually showing up and selling. And that's why it's a 3-month academy, is because there is live hot seat coaching calls from me. This is like my favorite part of the Six Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. So not only are you learning every single thing you need to scale to having the consistent 10K months that you are desiring, but you get to be with me and having calls with me to where we can look at the specifics of your offers, to where we can look at the specifics of your energetics. So we can look at why things look like they're not working and make those small tweaks so you can actually get your hands in the clay and bring no big deal energy into launching, into selling, into being visible, and actually claiming your space in this industry as I am a leader in what I do. And this is something that I wish existed at the beginning of my business, because I was that person who went here for human design and here for strategy and here for energetics. And when they're all in one space and you're in it for 3 months, that's why it's a 3-month container, because I want you to see the results. I want you to be in it. I want you to be launching. I want you to be doing it. 2023 can really be the year that you expand your business into 6 figures. And so that's why we're launching this. Like, we start on January 23rd. Early bird ends in 3 days on the 17th. We move from $3,999 to $4,444. There's incredible payment plans if you're vibing with that. And the pay in full bonus is freaking incredible. It's my mini program on mastering selling out your one-to-one. But this is the space where you get high level support. You do all of the things. The alumni, like, if you guys are interested, check out the sales page, because the alumni from the Six Figure Aligned Ascension Academy, we've had women tap into 6-figure years. We've had women tap into their first 10K launches. We've had women learn how to literally create that stacking effect. We've had projectors go through it where they're like, I'm making money in bed. And I'm like, yeah, that's how it gets to be. We've had people tap into their first 14K week. It is insane what we have seen in the Six Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. So if you're really vibing with creating this reality and getting that one space where you can learn it all, where you can learn how to create your offers, how to word your offers, how to actually do it in alignment with your human design, this is the space to come play. So if you're vibing with that, we would absolutely love to have you. We talk about money energetics. We talk about continuously selling offers, visibility, being magnetic, having a work-life balance. That's really, really beautiful and really powerful, because you guys know I stand for action, but I stand for aligned action. So if you're vibing with that, please DM me if you have any questions. And if you guys want to come in for early bird, I highly recommend it. This is eventually going to be something that isn't an all-in-one academy. I've had some intuitions where I'm going to eventually start breaking it down into separate courses and programs, which is going to be incredible. But also, this is the place to get that all-in-one support from me at this high level and get these bi-weekly coaching calls, support in the Facebook group between, so you can really go all in on your business if that's what you're desiring to create in 2023. So if anybody has any questions, we would freaking love to have you. If anybody's at that level where they're like, Christy, I'm not trying to create 6 figures, I'm trying to create $500,000, come into my highest level mastermind, Rich. That is the place to come play. We are currently enrolling our last 2 spaces, and the price on that is going up on the 23rd. So I'm so freaking excited. Danny, I'm so excited to have you in the Six Figure Aligned Ascension Academy. It's going to be freaking incredible. I have so much energy to bring, and we're also adding a new live module on launch sequencing, so you can really understand the psychology behind why people buy at full price versus why they're going to buy at pre-sale, what details to release, all of those different things. It's going to be a lot of fun. So it's going to help you create that momentum within your business that you're really desiring to see. So I'm really excited. I cannot wait. So if any of you guys are vibing with that, you have 3 days to join us for our early bird, and then the price is going up to full price, and we are going to kick it in 2023. This is the year. So I'm so excited. The replay of this specific live is going to be held within my Facebook group in the guides section. So this is one you're probably going to want to revisit every time you're having one of those moments where you're like, I'm feeling a little disconnected. Come play in this live. It is so incredible. So that being said, thank you all so much for attending this masterclass. If you have loved this, let me know. I'm so deeply excited, so deeply honored to have all of you here. And if you're feeling the pull for the Six Figure Aligned Ascension Academy, y'all, I can't wait. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you for being here.